What's going on, everyone? Michael here from 3D Print Everything, and we are on a video spree today. This will probably be the fourth video that I've done today, but I wanted to tell a cool story. I read a comment on a video I had just uploaded, and it reminded me of a story that I've never told before, but was quite interesting nonetheless. So instead of just having my camera stare at a subwoofer or something else, we will scroll through Midjourney here, which is a AI image creation artwork deal. Anyways, this is run through Discord, if you understand Discord, and you can essentially put in whatever text you want and it will create images. This will be the showcase thread here. Where is it? Yeah, so V4 showcase. So this will be showing some of the best images that people have come up with, and we're just going to kind of scroll through these. So the background images don't mean anything if you're curious. But this story will be about Counts Customs, and specifically Horny Mike, and I forget the other guy's name, honestly. But it was quite interesting, and I don't even remember how they reached out to me. So I don't remember what the first form of contact was. It was either from a YouTube video or from an email, or they had found my company. But either way, I had Horny Mike from Counts Customs, cool dude, reach out to me, and he was interested in 3D scanning. So at Counts Customs, if you're a car guy, I'm definitely a car guy. You've seen the show. They do really cool stuff. Count is a pretty decent guy overall. I think I've seen some controversy there, but you know, however you feel about him, doesn't matter too much. But one of the things I'll never forget is watching one of the episodes, and I believe this was right as I was getting into 3D printing, or right before I got into 3D printing, that I believe Horny Mike had come to him and said, hey, we can't find this taillight, or this taillight. I think the issue was this taillight is like $2,500 new, or we can get it 3D printed for like, $500, $1,000 or whatever. We can save this guy money. We can get an exact replica. It'll look great. And the Count was adamant on, no, we are not going to reproduce a taillight. The customer is going to get an original part. We're not putting fake 3D printed parts on it. We want original parts. So, he declined to go with 3D printing for that project. Now, this was years later. Horny Mike reached out to me, and he was quite interested in getting a 3D scanner. So I believe at the time that's probably what it was from, is I was offering the Thor 3D scanner. Maybe I'd done a video on the scanner, and he wanted to get one. And then it was interesting too, because one of the other guys there also wanted to get one. For the same exact reason. Because if they have a new tool on the show, the cameras will want to focus on that tool and what it does and how it's saving time and everything. And conversely, that means that either one of those individuals, Horny or the other guy, would then, and I don't know what their contract is, I have no idea, but I would assume that the more airtime you get, the more you get paid. As simple as that. Or at least the more airtime you get, the more clout you get, the more you can get. The more popular Horny Mike gets because he's on Counts Customs more often. I can't help that. The more that happens, the more that they'll be able to sell their own stuff, merch, build their own brand, branch out from Counts Customs, whatever their ulterior motives was. Now, with that, what I was led to believe was, hey, can you get us one of these for free? We will promote you. And not will promote you, but because you gave us this, we may mention your name, and with that, you'll just get flooded with new orders. And sure, I've seen this happen many times over the years. You just get one influencer with millions of viewers to shout out a project, and boom, you're all of a sudden flooded with orders. And where that can be great, as many of you know, I am not in a position, and if you don't know, you can watch my previous videos or just take my word for it. I'm not in a position to just give away a $7,000 scanner or anything better than that, like a $20,000 to $100-something thousand scanner. What they need for what they're doing is a $25,000 to $125,000 scanner. A little $7,000 scanner is only going to be slightly useful. So, wow, that guy just gave instructions on that. That's kind of cool. So he went from sketch to comic to straight up doing it. Wow, impressive. Good job there. Anyways, we're not talking about Midjourney. So I I had been wondering how that was done and wanted to do it. I've been recommending my brother take his drawn art and then turn into that. So, um, yeah, I wasn't in a position to just gift him a scanner. Now, they led me on by saying, "Oh yeah, well I'll just buy one." And then when the both of them figured out that the other guy was wanting to do it too, when Horny Mike figured out that the other dude was wanting to get one, he was kind of jealous and like, "Oh, you're talking to him too? Well, I want to get it before he does." And I was thinking that might actually get one of them to drop $7,000 on a 3D scanner, and then they could, I don't care if they promote me or not. If they buy a scanner, I would have made something off of it. And I'm no longer a reseller for that scanner company. That scanner is the Thor 3D Calibri, and they're a Russian-made company. And before even the war, we ended up ending our contract together because I just did not have enough sales. I guess it's a saturated market, and I was really thinking it would be useful. And it has been extremely useful to me, but would have been a more profitable thing to have resold. But I didn't push it full-time like a resale thing. I just had it listed on my account and told people that I had it. That's hilarious. That looks pretty good, too. So I just thought it was amusing that when it came down to it, neither of them wanted to pay, and they both essentially were only guaranteeing me that the item itself, the scanner itself, would be in episodes, and that we may or may not get a shout out from that. There was no guarantee, there was no contract, they were not willing to write a contract. They just literally wanted me to send them a free piece of equipment so they could use it and get more time on air, and essentially, just hope that somewhere in the background people are asking, well, where'd you get that scanner from? And then somewhere in the comments of Instagram, he's actually throwing me leads. I mean, that was kind of how it was presented. And Horny Mike, if you end up watching this, feel free to reach back out. If we want to clarify any of this, I would be happy to take this down and re-upload a new one. I'm not here to badmouth you or the other guy. I'm just giving my experience here. I don't have any negative opinions of you. Even through this experience, I totally understand it. Being on TV, you definitely get a bunch of free stuff. I mean, restaurants are just happy to have famous people come in because they can take photos, and then everyone will want to come in and they get discounts. And I'd always found it hilarious that it seemed to be easier to get a lot more free stuff the more money you had. If you can afford all these nice credit cards, you can buy all these things, then you get free airline tickets, so you're not paying, airline miles and tickets and all that stuff. So it's just intriguing to me that that's a thing. And, I had experienced it from Counts Customs, a TV show that I had looked up to and thought was cool. And it would have been great to have been able to have worked with them, and that could have been a changing moment for me if I had got a really good shout out. Maybe the company would have been immediately blown up. But none of that happened, and I would otherwise say that if you're another 3D print company and someone comes to you asking for free stuff, you best get a contract if they're actually going to advertise. It's not free if they're going to advertise for you, but it's definitely free if you get absolutely no promise or very vague, handshake or word promises that they're actually going to do something for you on the back end. So don't just, take someone's word for it because they're an influential person. Just because Gas Monkey Garage comes to you and says, hey, if you'll just give me a free 3D printer, and I had that happen. Gas Monkey did that as well, where they just wanted a free 3D printer that they could put in the background, and occasionally people would see that was ours. But, they're not in the business of advertising. I wouldn't be able to stick in big bold letters, 3D print everything printer. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of tell that story, kind of a funny and interesting, story about how Counts Customs had reached out to me and wanted free stuff from a company that is teeny tiny compared to what they are doing on a daily, and wanted free stuff from me. Little old me is how I felt about it. Was like, man, you feel like a giant in the industry as far as money and what you're involved with, and y'all can't just split off $5,000 for equipment that would be otherwise useful to your company. I mean, that's about as negative as connotation as I'll get with this, but I did find it amusing otherwise that we'll switch over here to newbies, that was the case with it. So that's pretty much the story of Counts Customs asking for a free 3D laser scanner, not laser scanner, a free scanner from me to do calls. Anyways, have a good day, guys. Like, share, subscribe if you found this hilarious. Comment down below what your thoughts are, and check out Midjourney. It's pretty cool. I'm not a rep for them either. I just think it's awesome stuff, If you got anything to say about what you've seen here, definitely comment below. Some of these photos have been pretty awesome and funny. Any of these photos on this website you can end up saving and using for your own uses. That's how this works. You can have stuff that you put on here set to private, so it's not out here in the open, but that's up to you. So yeah, have a good day, and we will talk to you soon.